The autumn leaves skittered across the road with a gust of cold air off the Atlantic Ocean. I was driving to meet Liam to select a pumpkin, or perhaps two, for Halloween. Celia and Delia, my twin cousins, were along for the ride, and determined to find as many as 10 pumpkins for a pumpkin carving contest at the high school. The bright colors of autumn dotted the sky in Charm Cove, Maine, with the winds blowing the heat of summer away. I caught a glimmer of pink flashing in the rearview mirror and glanced over my shoulder. "What are you doing?" I demanded, my eyes flicking to Delia in the mirror, whose magic had a pink tinge to it no matter what she did. For about the 1000th time, I thanked the stars, Celia's magic was imbued with lavender. Seeing as they were identical twins and approaching 16 years old, those two had plenty of mischief to spread. Throw magic in the mix, and one had to be cautious. If their magic was as identical as their looks, I'd never be able to sort out who did what. Delia giggled, her blue eyes twinkling as she brushed her dark hair off her forehead. "It was an accident. I was playing with my wand. Sorry, Moira," she said quickly. Celia piped up. "She was trying to cast a spell on me." "Well, as long as it's harmless, don't let me ruin the fun," I said, my tone dry. There was a shuffling sound and more giggles. I shook my head and smiled to myself. Normally, they would fight over the front seat, but a giant bag of zucchini was occupying it. My mother had dropped it off this afternoon, part of the last harvest of the season from her garden. I glanced out the window where the ocean stretched into the distance. We were driving along the winding coastal road beyond downtown Charm Cove. Old farmhouses and their respective farms were interspersed on the opposite side of the road. Charm Cove was situated about halfway up the picturesque, rocky coastline of Maine. "Don't miss the turn," Celia called from the back. Glancing ahead, I saw the sign for Peach's Pumpkins ahead. There were no peaches grown on this farm, but there were plenty of pumpkins. The name was a nod to the nickname of an ancestor who lived here until she passed away. Her name was Peaches, and she grew pumpkins. Turning down the road, I saw my husband's car at the end along with a few others. Every time I thought of Liam as my husband, a little thrill chased through me. We'd been married over 2 months now, but the newness had yet to wear off. It was an autumn tradition to come find a pumpkin at Peach's Pumpkins. Although this was now the 3rd autumn to come along since I'd moved back to Charm Cove after a few years away, somehow I had yet to reestablish this annual tradition. The twins' excitement rubbed off on me. Inspired by the upcoming pumpkin carving contest at the high school, they were driven by their shared competitive spirit. I expected them to start getting a little more cynical about life, as teenagers were wont to do. Although they were certainly mischievous, and I didn't doubt for 1 second there was much I didn't know about what went on in their social lives, they carried a joy for life that I didn't see fading, even in the face of cynicism.